Here's the tale of the tape. And if you've been with us for the past 8 months, indeed, if you're one of those who waited years for this to happen, you've memorized a lot of these numbers. 3-year age advantage for Lewis. 2.5 inches in height. It looks like more when they get into the ring. 217 and 242 as opposed to 215 and 246 back on March 13 again. Most people believe 242 is a very good sign for Lennox Lewis.
This will be clean. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves. Good luck. Let's go. Touch gloves. Where's your mouthpiece? Ready?
Just about half for Lewis and half for Holyfield. We should have drama tonight.
Already you can see Holyfield trying to get closer to Lewis right from the get-go.
Now he's beat him to the jab. Holyfield has said he would try to establish the left jab. He did.
And Lewis fires a rare left hook. Where is the ideal range for Evander, George? Is it right up in Lennox's chest, or is it a medium zone?
You got to be a medium. You're right there. Touch his foot and don't go any closer because you don't want him backing away. Just stay that distance. Lennox got to make sure he keeps him on the outside. Evander is bobbing, but he's not weaving. He's going to one side, and he stays there.
Holyfield misses with a left hook. Evander trying to project more sheer energy than was the case in New York. And whacking away at Lewis on the inside.
Now for Evander, all of these close-range contacts he's making is better for him. You don't want to keep this fight at long reach.
Evander pounds to the body as Lewis is backed up into a corner already.
You know, he was able to get in one good left jab, and that gives him confidence. You can't start reaching at this point. You got to let the fight come to you if you're Evander Holyfield.
And Holyfield reached with the right hand, and Lewis touched him up inside with a little right uppercut as the result. But already, Don Turner is yelling at Evander from his corner. He doesn't want to fight.
Evander did something very smart. He jabbed Lennox Lewis right in the chest. Right in the chest.
Off the round 1 results, you get the impression it's a better Holyfield already than was the case in New York.
Lennox Lewis has got to keep his reluctancy that he had in the original bout. He wasn't overconfident. He just used his jab. The more minutes that Evander Holyfield stay close to Lennox Lewis, the better.
Two jabs. Two jabs every time you jab him. Two jabs. And throw that overhand right on him.
Because he's wide open for underneath shots. Instead of trying to chop over top, touch him and starts trying to rip him underneath of you, and you're tying him up perfect. Okay.
Holyfield with the CompuBox edge in jabs in the first round, landing 8 to Lewis's 3. Lennox wasn't really snapping the jab as he did early in the fight in New York. Now he sticks it out there with a little bit more authority to start round number 2. But Holyfield comes back, and you see Holyfield listening to Don Turner's instruction. Throw the jab twice when you throw it. Double up.
Lewis is not able to hit him with a jab. So you throw 2 to make the big man back up. If you miss him, you at least back up.
Hard punch by Lewis inside. Is on a suicide mission, or is he going to get to Lewis?
Evander's reaching out hard already. That's what he shouldn't be doing. He should be throwing uppercuts to Lennox Lewis' elbows, uppercuts to his chest.
And Lewis, who said he would be conscious of...
Well, he's, like Larry said earlier, he threw a lot of good right hands in the first fight, but they were nothing that hit him square right, hit Evander square in the middle of the face. Always on the side of the head. This fight, Lewis got to concentrate on going right down the middle with that right hand.
Uppercut by Lewis as Evander jumps in with the jab. Lewis double jab.
That's what you don't want at this part of the fight, is allowing Lewis to get confident with his left jab.
You, if you're Holyfield, you mean?
Yeah, if you're Holyfield, you don't want him to get confidence with that left jab. He's dropping his left hand, make him do it lower by hitting him in the body a time or 2.
Lewis has released his right hand aggressively 3 times in this round.
Evander throws the overhand right. He has to make contact with the left hand first.
You know, Holyfield's brain trust wanted him to have twice the activity of the first fight. He hasn't shown that kind of energy yet.
In his great rematch performances in the past, Evander Holyfield was able to throw a lot of punches in situations where he could attack.
Now Lewis got Holyfield, Holyfield's got Lewis dropping his hand, looking, Now, Holyfield has the advantage. He can throw his jab now.
But his punch count is dropping off again, George. He's just not releasing his hands and throwing as much as he needs to be the aggressor.
Yeah, he's dropping his hand. That means you can beat him to the punch because the big guy has to bring him up and throw.
That round looked much like the rounds in the first fight. Inside, lets Lewis come up with a nice uppercut. Later on, good body shots by Holyfield. I could be mistaken about this, but Holyfield in his corner looks weary somehow. I don't see any energy. His body language is not lively. That could change, you know, in 5 seconds. But that's the impression one gets from him.
And now, just as was the case in New York, Lennox Lewis able to stick the jab in Holyfield's face repeatedly and start to set up power shots. Uppercut landed again.
As said, Evander's advantage if Lewis continues to throw these uppercuts because he drops his knees. He bends his knees to throw his uppercuts.
Lewis backs into a corner on his own and then ties Holyfield up momentarily. Halpern separates them. Lewis walks out of the corner. Lewis lands a little left hook.
And combinations. Now this is unusual for Lewis to be the better combination puncher.
Now there's a triple jab from Holyfield and he sticks with it. That's one thing you said before the fight, George. If he gets into punching range, he's got to stay there and try to do some work.
And don't allow this guy to get the distance again.
Right hand lands on a counter for Lewis.
One of the things that Holyfield observed after the first fight was that Lewis was punching, as he put it, at the target instead of through the target, meaning he wasn't loading up for big punches, and that doesn't give him the time to reply as he would like.
Well, that's part of Lewis's basic cautiousness.
Now Holyfield was able to get in some good body shots. He was able to jab Lennox Lewis in the chest. He didn't do that last time.
So you're suggesting that you like a lot of what Evander's doing so
I like
far,
a lot of what he's doing. He's invested in the body, even jab to the chest. I don't like him standing there getting those jabs, but when he's not in range, get all the way out of the range, which he should be doing.
When you fought Holyfield, did you feel like he had effective head movement against your jab, George?
It's a long, long time ago.
Yeah, that's right. Much has changed in the 8 years since April 9, 1991.
That's why I named all my boys George, so I wouldn't have to remember anything.
Hard right hand by Holyfield. Cleanest punch of the bout so far.
Standing close, trying to hit him back for hitting you. Don't do that if you're Lewis.
Great, step back. Out the head. What's up there? Go.
Lewis is bending down.
And Holyfield landed the left hook.
Bending down.
In the middle of the round, Holyfield lands a long right hand, no power on it because Lewis was backing up. But later on in the round, he did land a cleaner punch.
So there was some excitement in the third for Holyfield fans, but still, overall CompuBox numbers, Lewis threw more and landed more. Harold, how do you have it through three?
I don't know, Jim. Evander Holyfield, I thought did enough to win the third round. He got inside, he wrapped him a couple of times real good. 2-1, 29-28.
Don Turner asked his fighter to go inside in this round. That's Evander Holyfield. So Turner apparently liked some of what he saw in round number 3. Another big right hand for Holyfield as Lewis misses with a left.
And Lewis want to keep this fight at distance. You don't want to get it close. Lewis's corner told him to step up and take the fight to him. I wouldn't do that at this point.
Oh, it's a man's sport, George. Let them go in and bust each other a little bit.
Yeah, but the bigger guy, he looks bigger, but he's not all that big inside. He's a tall guy. When you see a good jab like that, that means that he doesn't like mixing it up.
Now, you pointed out that Lennox was bending forward in the last round. Why would he do that?
It was the first round that Holyfield made contact of equal range with him in height. Lewis started to bend down looking for that uppercut.
When Riddick Bowe, a taller man, leaned forward and agreed to exchange with Holyfield, Holyfield got chances to look good.
Now, every time Evander gets close, he has to dive in. That's why they clinch. He's jumping in because of the distance. He can't get it.
And Lewis goes back to popping the jab in Holyfield's face.
And he can do that for about 2 or 3 rounds. You need not try to mix it up.
Lewis holding his left hand below his waist, inviting Holyfield to jab. Holyfield leaving the opportunity alone for the moment. Right hand over the top by Lewis. And Holyfield pounds to the ribcage as Lewis holds his arm.
Evander do anything in this round, and we're 2 minutes and 15 seconds into it.
Lewis hasn't done a whole lot. He sits there and waits for 1 punch at a
Well,
time.
he's landed maybe 15 or 17 jabs.
Jabs score. Evander lands a right. Lewis lands a little right in return.
Lewis gets lazy and Evander Holyfield gets closer.
And Evander again jabbing to the body, something he did not try to do in the first fight.
Oh, I'm telling you, and it's paying off great dividends. Ooh, that right hand on the side of the head hurt.
Kind of slid past Evander's ear, though.
Yep.
When you get in close.
Don't go flat-footed now. Mouthpiece, don't go flat-footed.
Double jab, double jab, double jab.
Once again in round 4, Evander Holyfield only threw 30 punches. Lewis 49. But halfway through the between-round period, you saw the graphic that indicated Lewis has landed half as many jabs in the first 4 rounds here as he did in New York. So Holyfield, though not doing much more statistically than in New York, is much more in the fight here early on.
You know what? Good left hook.
Solid left hook by Holyfield. And Holyfield grinning as Lewis lands a big right hand. And Halpern telling Holyfield to watch his head as Lewis goes under and then over with the right hand and almost throws Holyfield over the top rope.
Come here, come here, come here. The bullshit in here stops now. This isn't a wrestling match, it's a boxing match. Just keep this clean. You understand me? Go.
More an abrasion than a cut, according to Flip Pomansky, the doctor. Lewis wasn't aware of it. The blood does start to trickle outside his right eye as he goes back to the uppercut and busts Holyfield again. Lewis thinks he's got Holyfield going with these right hands.
Hey, get back easy, hey.
British fans chanting for the man.
Lewis better get his hands up. Holyfield is doing a good job. Whenever he's close, he throws something.
Lewis hasn't had his hands up for 8 years, George. He loves to fight this way, as do so many modern fighters.
And he's doing something he didn't do before. He's leaning forward a little bit, trying to get that uppercut.
Absolutely. He thinks he's got Holyfield going with his big right hand connects. And the blood is flowing from Lewis's right eye. Outside the eye, as you can see, outside the orbital bone. Holyfield trying to make it a brawl. That would be to his advantage.
That's right. You want to keep it a brawl and make that big man keep. And the good thing about this, I didn't mention, Lewis has his cup a little lower. That's why Evander is able to go down and jab and hit him in the body a little better this time.
Big difference in the position of the protective cup. Lennox going to work with the uppercut again.
Not only that, he gets himself in the range of getting hit himself.
Well, despite the blood, so far it's been a big round for Lewis.
Holyfield has got Lewis coming forward. That's what you want him to do. That's the only way you can bob and weave. You can't go forward bobbing and weaving.
But again, Evander goes 20, 30 seconds without throwing a punch, George. He's got to be more active.
Lewis goes to the body a little bit.
And Lewis looking to the body.
And then going up.
Round 6 of a scheduled 12.
Now that cut isn't so bad, but it sure does chink the what you call it, the shield of confidence
well, it gives
of a
Lewis something to think about, right?
About how blood is flowing. Holyfield has got his jab going better this time.
Exactly 30 punches per round through the first 5. That's the same level of inactivity that hurt him in New York.
Going to the chest again.
And knocking Lewis off balance and knocking him back.
Going to the chest again. You cannot be allowed to be hit in the chest as a heavyweight.
Why, George?
It's just like someone taking sticking a syringe and just sucking all of your energy from you. And so many young fighters don't even understand that, so they allow guys to do it. Looking for a knockout. He trained for a knockout. Now he doesn't have no idea how to get back and get this thing in control.
Right hand by Lewis.
Oh, my goodness.
Why did Lewis do that?
Frustrated. Lewis thought all he would have to do is come out here and it was all his for the taking. He had no idea he would have to fight for this title.
So you think Lennox Lewis was that totally complacent coming into this fight?
Oh, no, everybody told him, you won this fight. You should have knocked him out, and he forgot about it. He won it by good tactics. He had a good strategy going.
Well, so many times in Evander Holyfield's career, it's been easy to be misled into believing that it was
those jabs to the chest, one after another. And I'm telling you, a knockout could follow those kind of punches. All he has to do, Evander, now is get in one left hook to the chin. This could be over.
Lewis headhunting in this round, concentrating on long right hands to Holyfield's head. Evander working to Lewis's body and stepping up the activity level in this round.
Oh, his offense is bothering him greatly. He's hitting him in the body, in the chest, things he didn't do last time.
Break, go!
You're gonna buff right or left and throw your foot.
Stay off the ropes.
Right now, Lewis says, let's see if it's right now.
Round 7 of a scheduled 12.
Lewis played around and waited around too long, and he turned this thing into a fight. He didn't need to be in the fight.
And that was what Lennox Lewis was talking about, I guess, when he said right now, uppercut lands with thunder. Quickly, Harold Letterman, how you got it through 6?
4 rounds to 2. 58-56, Lennox Lewis. I gave Evander Holyfield a 6th round because he was busier. There's no question. Lennox didn't punch, but he's punching this round.
Come on, go.
Now Lennox fires the uppercut and throws Holyfield off. And lands the uppercut again. He's just waiting on that uppercut now. Buster Douglas got himself knocked out against Evander Holyfield, trying to land an uppercut from distance.
Lewis should be jabbing and making the fight.
They both land uppercuts there. Holyfield with the right hand and Lewis with his own right hand.
Look, they're at
Big left hook by Holyfield.
They're head to head now, head to head.
Lewis is hurt. Now Lewis smiles as Holyfield comes in. Holyfield thinks he's got a target.
It was a left hook inside that hurt Lewis.
It was a big one. That left hook partially blocked by Lewis's right hand. Lennox leans against the ropes himself. Holyfield working the body. Lewis has decided that the uppercut is his bread and butter. Keeps coming back to it. Evander Holyfield with a better plan tonight. A little bit more energy. Not that big a difference, but enough to make it much more of a fight. And that's what
body shot hurt. That body shot hurt. Evander Holyfield landed a good body shot, and it hurt Lewis.
Hard left hook by Holyfield. Lewis stunned again. Lewis stands in. Holyfield fires back with the left hook. Lewis almost casual with the uppercut. Big target there for Holyfield.
Emmanuel Stewart told him to go out and get at Holyfield, and this is the result. But here comes Lewis now.
Lewis rallying again. Combination. Hard right hand by Holyfield. Lewis to the body. His own right hand lands flush. They trade shots at close range. Round 7, the best round these two fighters have fought against each other in 2 fights.
That left hook apparently discombobulated Lewis for a few seconds. He's holding on here. Once again, Lewis coming back in the last 20 seconds of the round. And you heard Emmanuel Stewart still thinks that the best fight for Lewis is to engage Holyfield right in the middle of the ring.
CompuBox numbers in round 7 virtually even. Lewis 20 of 39, Holyfield 21 out of 45. Letterman, as you saw, gave the round to Holyfield, probably because of the big left hook shots. Right hand lands for Lewis. Holyfield much more engaged, looking much more confident than at any point in New York. Lewis obviously much more conscious of wanting to knock his man out tonight. Every landed punch but one in round 7 was a power shot.
There's that left jab to the body by Holyfield again. Left hook upstairs now.
Another left hook, and Lewis backs up and ducks. Fires a right hand back and goes to the body.
Lewis is totally leaning forward now. He is into trouble. If only Holyfield could just muster up a little energy to throw a couple hooks. He has made up his mind, Lewis has, that he's going to fight.
Lewis getting smarter and going to the body. And it looks from time to time that Lewis is a tired fighter. When he went 10 rounds fighting this style against Mercer in Madison Square Garden, he was totally exhausted at the end.
Yep, and it was because of those body punches. And the bringing of that cup. That protective cup has been lowered. Holyfield got a green light to get down low.
So it's a much more even fight. But despite everything we're saying, Lewis has landed some shots in this round and may in fact be winning the round.
He's got his hands low. Holyfield couldn't miss if he just jumped in a Floyd Patterson left hook.
Which he did right there.
Jump in.
Their heads come together again, and Lewis produces some good infighting as he drives Evander back to the ropes. Evander trying to flurry at the end of the round. Lewis blunted him there. Lennox Lewis asked by Emmanuel Stewart to resurrect his jab. Stewart, as a trainer, has never lost a heavyweight title fight. Lennox Lewis has never knocked an opponent out past the 8th round. Holyfield has, and he goes for one here.
You should jab. Don't wait to get in distance.
Lennox goes back to the uppercut. Evander whacks to the body again.
Holyfield's eyes are clear. Not so with Lewis.
Holyfield looks like the fresher fighter. Lennox is still throwing more punches. When Lewis was exhausted and in trouble against Mercer in Madison Square Garden in a very similar
what a
fight.
good left hook to the body by Evander Holyfield.
The Englishman showed courage and heart in the 10th round to win the fight. Holyfield stepping it up again with that double pumping jab inside.
When Lewis jabs, it's a different fight, but when he stands there and waits for a big punch, Evander takes over.
Left hook to the body by Lewis.
Got to admit that Evander's been in with a lot of giants, and he's never backed down from a one.
Well, Evander Holyfield won't back down from anybody. Uppercut lands for Lewis. Holyfield misses the left hook.
But will Lewis take advantage of it?
Multiple punches for Lewis. Holyfield not throwing back. Fires the right and drives Lewis into the ropes. Lennox goes back to the body and the uppercut. Thrashing Holyfield with power shots. Now Holyfield's going to try to flurry again to convince the judges he's won the round. It's a smart professional thing to do.
Holyfield is an excellent boxer. Knows what to do and when to do it.
Lewis got in the last shot, so Holyfield decided to fire a left hook after the bell.
Now let's see if we can catch that uppercut that hurt Holyfield right there. Lewis, big uppercut. Lewis trying to follow up.
If he'd had a left hook to follow with.
I have a question for you, George. When Lewis goes in and battles him, you say he should jab. When he doesn't battle him, you suggest he doesn't have the gumption or the courage to stand with him. Now, which is it? Because in the last few rounds, he stood right with Holyfield and gone. I mean, this is a common thing we hear about Lewis.
The one thing about Evander, when he protects himself, he puts his arm all the way behind his ear. So that's why he's able to get caught with uppercuts straight up the middle.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 9? 6'3" or 5'4"?
No, 6'3", 87-84 Lennox Lewis. Judges very often look at a fighter's physical appearance, especially in close rounds. Evander looks like he's fresh, and in certain rounds, Lennox looks like he's dying.
6'3" on Letterman's card, I'll bet you anything. There's at least one judge at ringside who has Holyfield ahead in the fight.
Lewis should not engage into these exchanges. It's no good. He doesn't need it. He has the reach. But Evander Holyfield, this benefits him. He should try to create as much of this as he can.
But he just landed another big right uppercut.
And then you say, George, that he doesn't have it inside when he does that.
No, he doesn't have it inside. That's why he shouldn't do it.
Straight right hand lands for Lewis. Evander not throwing right now. Lewis with 2 body shots, who looks tired, but still has the energy to fire the 2 body shots and block the left hand.
That's the good thing about training. Whenever Lewis moves to Evander's left, Evander can't get anything off. He just goes to his left, nothing.
Left hook lands for Lewis.
Oh, boy, that was some good clean left hook. I don't think it did a lot of damage, but it just landed.
Evander Holyfield didn't throw many punches in this 10th round. 6 minutes to go. It'll be the 11th time in Holyfield's career that he's been into the 2 championship rounds. Lewis, far less. It'll be his 3rd. CompuBox numbers in round 10. Lewis landed 23 out of 44 punches. Holyfield 9 out of 34.
Does Holyfield have 6 intense minutes that his corner is asking him for?
He's got bounce on his feet at this point.
Yes, what a fighter this guy is.
Straight left for Holyfield. Lewis landed a right hand earlier. What a man he is.
37 years old and without a real big punch. You know, there have been older fighters that have done well because they had a big punch. But to work at the high energy level he needs to, because he's a small heavyweight, he's just a remarkable guy.
Holyfield busting Lewis to the body with the left hand. Holyfield showing much more energy here in the 11th than he showed in a seemingly weary round 10.
Ooh, good body shots by Lewis. When Lewis goes out and jab and steps around, he has this fight won. Whenever he takes his trainer's advice, getting in there, that's when things turn around. Well, Lewis is just standing on the mound, pitching now.
And when Holyfield comes forward, Lewis leans forward and pops him with that uppercut.
Well, he's on the mound like a pitcher, and he just stands there and does whatever he wants.
Ooh, hard left hook by Holyfield.
He stands on his mound, and those body shots hurt.
Right hand by Lewis. Holyfield misses his left.
Watch your head.
Lewis is better try to put everything to rest and win this round.
Ooh. Combination by Lewis. Holyfield lands a big right hand in return. In terms of energy and the kind of effort the 2 fighters are putting forth. But still, Lewis throws more and lands more in almost every round. Cut outside Lewis's eye from the butt early in the fight has never begun bleeding again. 4 punches land for Lewis. Holyfield can't get one in. Lewis jabbing and bouncing now. His energy coming back.
Let go, let go. Let him up.
Yeah, Holyfield is cut.
Yep, blood on the left cheek of Evander Holyfield. We get ready for the 12th round. 3 points. Lennox Lewis has never lost a decision. Evander Holyfield has never had a 12th round knockout. And if Lewis wins, he's the first unified British heavyweight champion since Bob Fitzsimmons in 1897. Harold Letterman with Lewis ahead by 5. I'll bet you anything, all 3 official judges have it closer than that. Just a guess.
This has been a close fight.
I'm not saying I disagree with Harold's card.
Evander's got some thunder on those punches, I'm telling you. Lewis just doesn't seem to respect Evander Holyfield's power.
What should the 2 fighters be doing in this round, George?
Evander's got to pull it out. He just can't sit there and box this round. He's got to fight. If ever you're going to fight, this is the fight of your life fight.
Lewis stuck the jab in Holyfield's mouth, then just missed with the right hand. Holyfield trying to put the pressure on. Uppercut lands for Evander. Lewis slightly staggered. Now he looks to land his right. Evander with a lot of energy here in the 12th. Lennox seeming to try to load one big shot. Now he goes back to the jab. Lewis throwing his punches sloppily here in the 12th round.
Head, that was your head going up. You okay? Go.
Uppercut lands for Lewis. Lewis trying to measure him in for an uppercut.
Lewis is better fight. Just can't think about winning a decision.
If the fight is on the table here, if anything, Holyfield's had the better of it with sheer energy.
Lewis' corner told him, don't hold anything back.
He might not have anything to hold back.
Yeah, you always got something you wish you had done in the hotel room.
Two body shots by Holyfield. He sticks in a little uppercut.
Lewis is holding on.
Right hand lands for Lewis.
Hits and
Again, he
holds.
ties Holyfield up inside. Lewis may think that he's won the fight and needs only to survive. We're going to find out in 5 more seconds of fighting. They fought a lot better fight this time, and the fans appreciate it.
I had Lewis winning the fight. Much better fight. Holyfield fought better. I thought Lewis won it.
And in the first minute of the round, he landed that right hand shot and that left hook. And then later on in the round, a Holyfield uppercut landed flush. So even though the punch stat numbers were fairly even, and here's Tim Hallmark, Holyfield's longtime physical trainer, praying in Holyfield's corner during the course of that 12th round.
You just hope the judges are not swayed by what happened in the previous fight. Just score this fight the way it was tonight and the way it is tonight and forget about the past.
Do you have a winner in your head, George?
Yeah, it's a close fight this time. When a close fight, I'll go for either guy. But Holyfield did a lot better. If he had not had the stigma of that last fight, I think there wouldn't be any question that he could have pulled this off.
You think Holyfield might have won the fight, George?
If had not been for the original thing, you see.
Harold, how did you score it?
Well, Jim, after 7, it was a close fight, 4 rounds to 3. But 8, 9, 10, 11 belonged to Lennox Lewis. He landed the punches, he threw the shots, better cleaner punches at 8, 9, 10, 11. Evander pulls out the 12th, 8 rounds to 4, 116, 112, Lennox Lewis.
Judge at ringside, Jerry Roth scores at 115 to 113. Judge Chuck Jompa scores at 116 to 112. Judge at ringside, Bill Graham sees it 117 to 111. All 3 in favor of the winner and the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.